Hi, I just wanted to ask a question about Pandora. How do you differentiate yourself to other platforms like Spotify?
That's a great question. I've got the 5 most frequently asked questions that I quite often go out and talk about. That's number 2. There are really 3 categories that are in the music streaming space. There is what we call an aggregator, and an aggregator is a rebroadcaster of other streams. So TuneIn Radio is a really good example there. I can talk a lot more about this in the breakout if anybody's interested. The second category is on-demand. On-demand is, like Spotify, it's a very crowded category. Audio, Deezer, Mog, Beats, Rhapsody, JB Hi-Fi, local example. They're in the on-demand category. They are on demand. You lean into that product and you tell the product what it is that you want to listen to, which artist, which catalogue, which album, you playlist, you follow. It's a very interactive experience. So you are programming your own listening environment. They are typically owned by the major labels as a digital distribution play, and it requires some knowledge of music. So people who identify as a music lover will quite often have these on-demand players as their music streaming choice. The third category is the streaming radio category. And a lot of the things that we've already talked about, with streaming radio, it has the ease of terrestrial radio. You just give it one song and then you sit back and the music plays for you. It's a passive listening environment. People listen to Pandora when they're doing something else. They're driving a car, they're working in an open plan office, they're commuting to work, they're feeding or cooking at home, they're bathing the kids, getting a haircut, having a coffee. You're actually doing something else and music is playing around you. And that's a passive listening experience. We listen passively about 80% of the time. Pandora, streaming radio, fits into the passive, non-music loving listening audience, and Spotify and the on-demand players represent about 20% of active listening that people do when they listen to music. So it's kind of a long answer, but we are complementary to the on-demand category. We know in the US that 80% of Spotify listeners also use Pandora. 10% of Pandora users also listen to Spotify. We are after the non-music lover. We're after the people that used to be really cool, that went to Cold Chisel's Last Stand, that bought the t-shirt, that used to go to the pubs and clubs, that saw the Wiggles before they were the Wiggles, me. Then you get a job, you have kids, and music disappears from your life because you grow up and you get busy. They're Pandora people. So when I listened to Pandora, one of my first stations was the song that I kissed the